Let me know when we're live.
We are live. We're live in the mix right now. What's going on, Matty Matt?
We're live. What's up, brother? Not too much, man. Just chilling here in Tampa Bay. Good old Tampa Bay, Sunshine State. How are you?
I'm good, man. I got my Super Mario shirt on for like the 80th time. We were laughing about that earlier.
I love it, bro. I love it. I love it. But yeah, no, man, really good times. Hey, just wanted to hop on here live real quick, just give a little bit of an encouragement. Something I learned actually earlier this week that was pretty cool. I was listening to a podcast. Obviously, I'm a big podcast guy, and if you guys aren't about podcast, please, man, dig in. There's some unbelievable minds that you can tap into, absolutely free. So one of them was obviously I'm a big Tony Robbins guy. Tony Robbins is an amazing person. And I was just able to grab something out of his. So they brought on Sara Blakely, and I have actually some friends that are actually friends with Sara Blakely, so I'm not far off actually from her. And she just, man, she has an unbelievable perspective on business, number one, but then where she came from. And she gives her complete story in that. So if you don't follow Tony Robbins, I would definitely follow Tony Robbins and actually listen to that podcast. But the one thing I wanted to do as far as overall encouragement was she said, change your definition of failure. And it blew my mind. It was really cool. It's like she sits down and she actually looks for new ways to fail every day. And she celebrates those failures. And we were just thinking about it. I was with the guys the other day. I was actually in a couple trainings. We were going through some things. And I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm going to take a live call real quick and we're going to go through it, right? So we're going to go through the script, and we just ran through some things. And I had listened to this podcast a little while back, but I ran through this live call. Some guy picked up and I got on the call, and he got me off topic on something where I was like, oh, shoot. He threw me, derailed me a little bit, and completely failed in front of my guys. Just did not do well. And so I got off the phone, and I always ask my guys feedback, because feedback is so important to me. No matter what level across, and I love the way Ray Dalio at Blackwater, they just operate. It's all pure meritocracy, and you have to actually give feedback to your anybody across. Like you can give back feedback to Ray Dalio if you wanted to, or your subordinate, whoever it might be. You just have to do that there, or they actually potentially will fire you. But I want to stay on topic and change your definition of failure, because I think it's so crucial and something that I've really pivoted from to and really have focused on, because it just has created leaps and bounds growth potential in my life. And my wife and I talk about it more and more. Hey, did you fail today? And we look for opportunities and ways to fail. And then we celebrate those failures, because it's just acts as a way of encouragement for us to grow, right? It takes us up another level. So anyways, I'm on this call and I fail in this call. It was bad. This guy derailed me. I kept him on. I guess the good thing was I kept him on for a little bit longer than he probably should have been, wasted his time. But I was like, guys, give me some feedback. Tell me what I did wrong, what I messed up on. And so they were like, we don't want to. But no, I was like, please tell me. I always tell them, I was like, give me that feedback. I need better feedback on how we can hit in different levels, so we can make each other better every day. And that was it. They started, oh yeah, we could have hit this here and hit this here and this here. And then we celebrate that failure. So what failure doesn't define us. Even tonight, I was running a little sluggish. And I was like, man, I'm so stressed out right now. I told my wife, I'm so stressed out right now, just doing the various things. But she just gave me encouragement, right? It's just one of those things. I know I try to put as much value in here as possible, because I just want to be a sense of encouragement to everyone out there. But even tonight, I have a big capital raise we're doing right now, right? And I'm like, man, it's just so overwhelming. We're reaching out to potential investors. We're talking to people all the time. Things are just dynamically changing day after day. I don't know if anyone saw crude oil goes to a negative $11 a barrel. So that means, I don't know if people realize this, but negative $11 a barrel means that somebody is willing to give you a barrel of oil and $11 with it. So if I had a crude oil barrel, that I was going to give you crude oil, and then I was going to give you $11 to just take it from me. It's insane. It just absolutely blows my mind. So these crazy things are going on in the world, but there's constant new ways to learn. Getting a little off topic, let's get back on topic. Change your definition of failure. That's what Sarah Blakely does. Sarah Blakely learned that from actually her father, who just sat her down and said every day, like, what are your failures? And they went a round table of they sat down and they were like, tell us, what did you fail on today? What do you think that you could have done better, right? And they celebrated those failures as an opportunity to grow and learn in new ways. And so that's what I do every day. I try to identify new things that I can grow, that I can constantly remain uncomfortable in every situation. But I know when I'm like uncomfortable in situations, it allows me to grow and take myself to a new level. One of the things this past year that has been increasingly uncomfortable to me is just like, sometimes I just like feel a need to like pray over somebody. Hey, they might need it that day. And I know everyone here isn't faith based, but that's just something that I think is an outward opportunity for me to be like, hey, I want to pray over you. The other day was like my grandfather. He brought tears in my eyes. This dude is he's 93 years old. He's actually in the hospital right now. But I was talking to him. My grandma had just passed away a couple months, and I know I had mentioned her. But I just said, hey, Grandpa, I appreciate your legacy, man. Yeah, you're just leaving for everybody. I just appreciate everything about you, and I want to pray over you. So I prayed over him, and we're talking a little bit, and he was just talking about his wife that he had for 67 years. And he's sitting in a hospital bed, and he's like, Matt, I was kind of thinking pity on myself. I was thinking pity that, I'm here, and I was thinking pity that, it's, I'm 93 years old. My wife's passed. Maybe it's just, my time to go. And then he's like, I changed my perspective a little bit. And I think that's like, he saw his failure then, right? And he changed his perspective with it, and he realized he was kind of going this downward trend. And was like, you know what? I have 67 reasons that I can be, that I can smile. I have 67 reasons I can change my perspective on things. Those 67 reasons are the 67 years of marriage that they had. And I just thought that was incredibly cool on how that just that pivot and that mindset all the time. And if you can change your definition of what failure looks like, right? Constantly, day after day, just repivoting of the mind to show that, hey, I can do some major things. It's just between the years, and that I constantly are looking for new ways to fail. Me as an entrepreneur, starting up a couple businesses, these are uncertain times, right? And quite honestly, there'll be days I go through and I'm like, is it worth it? Is it, are we going to get here? And we just have to have some really, really tough conversations. I had to have a really tough conversation with one of my business partners today, where we had a split of equity, and we just had to do a couple different things, a couple different changes. But if you're super transparent during that process and what that looks like, man, you can grow. You can take yourself to new ceilings. So I wanted to go live real quick. I just wanted to share a little bit of feedback of what's going on in my life. I hope it was an encouragement to you. I think that definitely is so important to change your definition of failure. Constantly look for new ways to fail every day, and then turn around and make them a victory, right? Schedule that, mark that as a victory, that I'm going to grow from that. I'm going to be a better person because of that, or I'm going to do various things. So one of the ways, that I chose many years back is to communicate with my wife a little bit more effectively every day. Those things compound, right? So I failed, but now it's constantly growing into like a much more matured strength. And then, in business the same way, right? How can I become a better leader? How can I fail? How can I be vulnerable? Vulnerability is your biggest strength. I shit you not. I promise you that vulnerability can be your biggest ally. You just got to make it that way. So when you're vulnerable to failure, you can sit down and say, hey, what did I fail at today? That's vulnerability, right? To everyone that you're exposing yourself to, and say, hey, look, how can I learn from this? How can I grow? So anyways, I don't want to trail on. I love you, OMT fam. Reap the harvest. We out. Just wanted to do a little bit quick live and show you what's going on in my world, and just give everybody a sense of encouragement. So Pat, I appreciate the Super Mario shirt once again, man. And I want to give a little bit of a shout out. Acoustic Force, check them out. Domination Station. You got to check out the Acoustic Force. He'll just do just about anything for you. I'm not getting anything from this, but I want to give props to my man, Pat Hilton, everyone that watches. check him out and reach out to him. So at the Acoustic Force,
we get things done. We get things done.
We out, baby.
Later.